Oh, and now a little bit more.
These things. Hey, welcome to Rock Delest. Look, we did a lot of shit today. Let's just jump into it. Just start talking about it. What do you guys like? I want to show that.
No.
Ooh, new.
Oh, Alex, you go first.
Oh man. Well, first of all, I loved the crow thing because I swear I knew what Cory was thinking the second that happened. I was like, yes, we're gonna do this shit. So I was very excited about the whole crow thing that went down just because it was a beautiful moment. But yeah, did not. There's a lot of stuff going on that I'm a little leery about, though.
Yeah. What about you, Nate?
Man, Zach's gonna fucking lose his shit with Grant. I, Nate, am loving it. But Zach is. I don't know why you wanna. The rest of it was great.
An old-timey boxer.
Yeah, right to the moon. I am digging the protein pancakes, which I definitely thought were malasadas.
Well, that's the thing.
I think. Well, they're Hawaiian like pancake snacks.
That's what they were. They were just
fully
protein
those
version.
things. You know where I learned about them? Pokemon.
Nice. You know where I learned?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a dude in that game who's obsessed with him, which is I get very big Cameron vibes off of him anyway. So, anyway, and more scenes of Max eating food, please. Also, I'm thrilled that we've canonized Max.
I like Max
because it always bugged me that he didn't have like a human name at all.
I really did that because I thought it was funny to like add words on to a long name that was supposed to be shortened. I thought it would be funny if I did that as Cameron, and then I figured you guys would come in and be like, no, we're gonna call him Max. No. And then you did the Max thing, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And it was my old cat's name, so works.
Yeah.
What about you, Cory?
Oh, my favorite part was easily the conversation between Grant and Zach. I think that was a really good character moment for both of us, and I'm happy to see where it goes. Obviously Grant is upset in a lot of different ways right now, but like, I think that, you know, I if there's a come to Jesus that happens with it, I'm excited for that. But like, I think Grant is about as fed up with Zach as Zach is with Grant right
now. Hey, Alex.
That might happen in some ways.
What do you think about as a fan, as like a listener, as Alex, when you were listening to that moment between Zach and Grant? Like, what was going through your head?
Oh man. I was thoroughly enjoying the whole interaction that was going down there, but I loved seeing kind of different moments from Zach, because we get, not that I didn't love what everything Grant was doing too, but we get a lot of Grant's perspective. Like, he is very overt and open and all that stuff. So it was really cool to just see Zach step up too and have that moment of like, what's going on, buddy? What the fuck? And then like his reactions to everything that was going on through there. So I was enjoying it thoroughly as a fan.
Same. I really liked it. There was parts where it was like Zach would like Grant would give him a reason why he's pissed off, and then Zach would be like the one that I really liked was like he was like, he put his tail blade to my throat, and Zach was like, you leaned into it, like that's on you. And like, yeah, there was more retort with like the gun thing, but it like when Zach was doing that, it was like finally Zach is hitting these fucking points and like driving home his point, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And it was Cory. It was great with you playing back at him, still pushing against him. And
I love the whole conversation. I really like it. Was a really good Zach moment. It felt very much like a character.
That line though at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No,
is that what
you're saying? Yeah.
That was crushing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if that hadn't happened, if if Grant hadn't shut Zach down right in that moment, Zach would have definitely thrown a handful of peanuts at him and been like, "Well, fucking leave then, you baby." And but instead,
Right.
it was like, "No, you suck." Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw these peanuts at these birds some more.
Yeah, instead there was that biting, making some shit calls later.
Mhm.
Which I'll enjoy calling him to task for that because I don't know when that happened. Maybe Grant thinks that, but I'm like, I thought I was doing okay. I didn't tell anybody to jump into a fucking fight and get killed.
Yeah.
You did though. You did though. You
When?
literally did that last episode.
Oh, when on the fucking dome ship?
Yeah, we were trying to run away, and you were like, "We gotta stand and fight." We would have fucking died, man.
I don't
Oh
think he
well,
said-
no, I had a moment of panic. I didn't understand the whole door situation. That
Right.
was,
And
no,
that's
Zach was in an exhausted panic state at that point. That was
sure, but
yeah,
that is
that's my
what
reasoning
is
for that.
that is what's going to come up, and
Yeah, I
if
got
that's
you.
your reasoning for it. That's fine, but that's where Grant's at, and that's where the
Yeah,
motivation
fair.
for that was coming from.
well,
In the background, Daxter gets fed by a robot.
Ooh, like a robot butler.
Yeah, for
Cheesy
Daxter
cat?
specifically.
I mean, he earned it.
We do have some Hirac Delest stuff. Some questions. Do you guys have any more moments you guys want to talk about as far as the show goes?
I mean,
Or as far as
Cameron getting. I keep wanting to call him Cam because I have a really good friend named Cameron.
Cam.
So I call Cam. Sorry, but anyway, I enjoyed. I really thought he got axe stoned, like immediately.
I
Like,
thought
hey,
so,
welcome
too.
to Earth. Here's weed.
Yeah, I thought that would be like I did think about like, do they smoke or not? And I was like, nah, it's better to not have him.
We're gonna get him some edibles though at some point.
When you had them hit by the skunk, and you said they came in smelling like something more than weed, I was like, did Cameron buy some of that fentanyl lace shit? I swear to God.
I thought for sure that like Cam was just buying shitty weed. Cameron, why am I still calling him Cam?
Well-
Cameron had just bought shitty weed, and I've smelled that weed before, so I was like, oh yeah, I get it. It's not the good stuff like Grant has; it's the shitty stuff.
Grant would also be mad. Like, why are you buying shitty
Why,
weed
yeah,
from other
why are you
people?
buying shitty weed?
They just got skunked.
I don't know. I liked your Hawaiian bro. That's cool. I
Miko.
didn't know they were protein pancakes, but
Yeah, the kind of a little backstory, I guess, with that is I was having Cameron, he doesn't have a lot of money. He doesn't have a lot of places to get food. So he has a relationship with this guy and he'll do like some work for him. And during the football season when Cameron needs to bulk up or something, he'll feed him protein pancakes.
so I didn't catch that they were protein pancakes, but I definitely caught that no, this is a guy that Cameron has befriended and like he sometimes just gets free food or food in exchange for work or whatever. And that's dope. I like to think that business like helps sponsor the local high school football team.
That'd be cool.
And that's like why Cameron got free food to begin with.
Oh man,
He was like, "Don't you want the football team to do good?" And
it could even be like the little league football team. What do you call them?
oh, the Pee Wee League.
Yeah, the Pee Wee.
Oh, he's loved Cameron since he was Pee-wee.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Adorable.
I love it.
Yep.
I can't wait to make a logo for this place.
Another one.
And Beach Burger. That Beach Burger that we described at the end, that's another favorite moment. I'm so ready to eat one of those right now.
Sounds good.
With a little bit of sand on it for sure. Just because you can't escape it at the beach. It's rough and course, it gets everywhere,
And
That's where patchwork.
I did very
patchworks.
No, that's where they were.
Oh,
I did very much enjoy like Nate having no idea what the fuck we were on about with the roof.
Oh, I knew. I knew about it. Out of character, I knew.
Oh,
Zach
okay,
didn't have a fucking clue.
Well, guys want to move to questions?
Sure.
Last thing, I don't know if Cory intentionally set it up this way, but the fact that he was like, I don't trust this new guy. I hate him. And then he goes up to the roof and he's like, yeah, me and Savannah have been doing this thing lately. And Zach's like, I thought you fucking hate us. It's weird how people can grow to like each other, even if they don't like each other to begin with.
Yeah, I did. No, 100%. And like out of character, I would love reasons to come up, and I hope they do, for Grant and Max to have some camaraderie. But like obviously, just right now, canonically, Max does not trust us for shit. And Grant super doesn't trust him for shit. And so like it's one of those things where, straight up teenager thing, like Grant is like, yeah, I've grown and I can see these things and doing better with this, and I've grown past that, and Savannah and I really get along, and but fuck this guy, he's a piece of shit and I can't trust him ever.
I also think that you saying that he doesn't, like, you're making a little bit of an assumption saying that he doesn't trust you all.
Oh, of course.
Because, but yeah, that's.
I mean,
that's
Grant
all.
has to feel. In order to feel the way Grant does, he must have already justified it to himself in his head, whether it's right or wrong. So I get it. Or he's got to be like, no, this guy fucking hates us, so I hate him, even if it's not true.
Yeah, Grant is thinking about this very black and white, where it's much more complicated.
Only a Sith deals in absolute.
Yeah, and he's not considering this other culture and stuff. He hears what he's saying, but what he's hearing is Andalites first, and Grant's doesn't have the headspace to entertain that idea right now.
Well, so like ironically, Grant is already at he's at the opinion that everyone holds of Andalites after finishing the series. Which is fuck these fascists. Wait a minute. They suck. Is Alex frozen or just okay? I thought you were frozen for a second again.
Alex,
what?
Just listening.
Go. Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have anything that you want to say?
No, I mean, I could tell you guys what Savannah was thinking, or I could just keep it.
No, please.
Up to you.
I always love hearing what Savannah's thinking.
I want to know.
Well, she came into this where she was really like, she really liked Aximli. Like she because of Elfangor, she transferred a lot of those feelings over, because this, Elfangor came in and like kind of granted one of her biggest dreams by letting her turn into animals, and like that's what really caused her to commit to all this. So she came into this with that thinking of like, he's gonna be just like Elfangor. And then everything he's kind of said and like acted, and like the sort of animosity with Grant and the way things are going on, she's kind of getting this huge like reel back, like, oh, he's not like his brother at all. And she's almost a little bit like affronted. Like he's done a few things that have kind of, she's seeing as like almost a slight, like, like, because she was the one that pushed to go, we have to do this now. We have to take care of this today. This is affecting me. She's had those visions for that long, and she's kind of feeling a little bit betrayed by him almost.
So some similar ideas and thoughts to Grant, but not nearly as explosively as him, because that's not who she is.
I also think that if that is the case, it's from different stems. Like it's stemming from different things. Other
I agree.
Than, I can see that. Yeah. I mean, I can see everybody's like view on like what y'all are saying.
I feel so bad being so mean to him with like his beautiful visage right here next to me as I do it.
You should draw angry eyes on him or something.
an evil twirly mustache.
Exactly, yeah. Monocle, top hat.
Oh, like you're defacing his yearbook picture.
We'll get you a fresh sticker for later when he likes them. Hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely.
For what it's worth, Zach's not like wholeheartedly like, no, this is a good guy, but he's trying to retain the option of an ally. That's what his whole thing right now is, just trying to keep it at least neutral.
How fucking dare you? Honestly.
What?
I'm kidding.
Oh.
That's a very reasonable stance to take.
Well, no, I mean, it's what I'm saying is like, no, this version of Axe has also already said things where I'm like, dang, that's a hard thing to say and then get over.
Right.
But it's still like, okay, big picture overall, we have to defeat the Yeerks, and if this is one more person that can help us, if it takes us from 4 to 5, or 4 to 4.5. That's something.
Right.
And
And
I gotta try to keep that.
Grant is extremely wary of what if his interests at any point go against ours. What then?
Yeah. That's a good conversation to have in character, because
Yeah. I mean, that's what he was trying to get at.
I
but
think
both of
yeah,
them were
Zach's
very-
answer to that is, well, then we'll deal with that later. Like right now,
And that's one of
saying, "Hey, fuck you, dude, get out of here," isn't helpful at all.
well, no, but that's
So-
true. That's interesting. It might not be helpful,
Yeah.
or we're trying
Yeah.
to get an ally, but that's interesting. And I think that was probably the one that I was referring to when I said Savannah felt betrayed. Is the end of last episode was, "You're here with us. You're one of us. You can be yourself around us." And then he goes, "Don't count me as one of your number." It's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, okay then.
Yeah, and I think whatever I said the first time, I was a little bit more harsh than I wanted to be. I wanted him to make it seem like you all weren't
Cool,
like.
Austin. It's cool.
Well, I mean, he's
Spaghetti.
also
Sorry, what
He's-
were you going to say, Austin? I'm so sorry.
No, I was just saying that it's. He wasn't saying because Zach counted him among you all, and he was trying.
Well,
It's more like, I don't want you to count me among you and expect me to be there, and I'm not. But it
What
came
really
off as I'm
happened-
not your ally.
what really happened is Nate forgot that we were down to 4. So he said 5, and then instead of saying, "Oh wait, no, 4," he just changed it to, "Well, if we count you."
I mean, I think that still makes sense of,
Yeah.
it
I just
just
want that
happened.
little-
A lot of stuff has happened.
Mhm.
Zach might have forgotten. Reese wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, let's do some Hirac Delest questions, huh?
All right.
Yeah.
How do we make this a reality? Nope.
No,
That was Nate.
I still want to have a puppy cam though on
Yeah.
record.
Casey's right though. We would just spend the whole time, all of us, like, oh,
We would never
Well,
play. We'd just be like, "Oh, he's sleeping. His
his
feet are
little
doing this.
what is-
His little feet. He's
oh,
thinking
he's
about
chasing a
running."
squirrel in his dreams.
Oh,
This one is for everyone except Alex.
Kick back, relax.
Oh, unless you want to answer it, also.
No. It's for everyone but me.
All right. So it says, even though you don't like having to describe your morphs.
false.
Well,
That's what I was gonna say. I think people might like to describe. Some people might, some people not. We'll see. So even though you don't like having to describe your morphs, has having to do it inspired you to learn a little bit more about animal anatomy than you would have otherwise? So yeah.
I think that the way that this was phrased was because in response to if we enjoyed doing it, Nate and I both said no, it fucking sucks because Alex is so good at it.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay,
so
that's true.
it's in response to that, and has it inspired me to go learn more about animal anatomy so that I can? Not at all.
Not at all.
Not even a
haven't.
little bit.
Nope.
What am I? What?
To the kingdom, and they spat in my face.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like she's right here.
Here's what I want
She's
you to
right
understand,
here. I can
Alex.
just fucking ask her. I can be like,
Right.
"You fucking do it."
I want to start describing a morph and go, and then my knees, there's a click as my knees shifted direction so that Alex can go, "No, the fuck, they did it!" And we can have that conversation.
We decided early on that because Catherine and Michael did it, we were just gonna roll with it.
Wait,
Mhm.
KS user canon?
No, that particular one is because
Just
I
that
think
one.
it was
Okay.
Austin described it in one morph, and then Nate, it was you that said that's a Catherine and
don't.
Michael thing, and so we should keep it. And we all were like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, that's in the
God,
original series."
I have no memory of this. I
It's
believe that it
okay.
happened though.
Here I am to quote. Let me read from my courtroom documents that I've been
Yeah.
typing this whole time.
Read it back.
She's taking
Uh,
transcripts of
That's
that.
it the whole time. Just start typing away.
So I'm gonna sort of piggyback on this question with a suggestion for Austin.
Yeah.
I think that each of us should have to describe at least one morph per episode because I just don't remember to do it. I'm so excited to go do the thing that I'm like, I've never remembered to fucking do it.
Normally, when you get new morphs, I'll say something. I didn't about the octopus, but normally I'll be like, "You want to describe it?" So
I was just gonna say, like,
We haven't gotten a
Throw
lot
roll.
of new morphs lately.
that's true.
I don't want
If
to
you-
do it like make a rule where it's like every episode, because I don't want to interrupt the pacing because we have a rule that'll be, you know what I mean? Like if you guys are running down a hall and you need to hurry up and I don't want to stop it with the morph description.
Okay.
Unless it's cool. Like we might, but
Best judgment. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need a
It's-
reminder though, is what I'm saying, because I'm too focused on getting a task done, and I'm not like, oh yeah, and it's really gross when I do the thing. I don't think about that.
I'll try to remember.
I would love to describe it more, because just as a person who enjoys like writing and stuff, I want a chance to practice being descriptive.
I'll answer this question too. So describing morphs for me is a little bit different, because a lot of the times I know when a character is going to be going into a morph beforehand, so I can.
So you might have written it before.
I could do a description before. I'm going to say this though. I normally don't. If they're morphing, I try to go off the top of my head too. There were some times in the beginning where I wrote some stuff, but either way, I haven't went out and like learned anything, like actually tried to, but I have learned stuff from Alex, like through describing morphs. I've learned the knee thing I already knew, but I still described wrong. I've learned that birds
Can't fart.
They can't fart. They have cloacas. They have a lens over their eyes that helps protect it instead of blinking. Huh?
Nictitating membrane, the third eye.
Yeah. And
Nintendo membrane, yeah.
There's 2 different kinds of talons on predator birds. I learned a lot of stuff from just. I've learned that fucking there's meat sheets and then moose and antlers. I've learned a lot from this game.
Can I talk about that for just like 1 second?
Well,
why do you always want to talk about meat sheets?
We know it's going to be a while. Sit back, everybody. Let's see what she
It's not. It's okay. No, when looking into this, antler is the fastest growing tissue in the animal kingdom. Like in especially in like large animals, blah blah blah. I'm sure there's some other exceptions, but it can grow up to like 20 centimeters a week, which is absolutely insane growth. So it made total sense when looking at like a new morph, especially one with antlers, that would be the fastest thing on the. Is so cool, and like all the blood vessels and tissues crawling. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, I gotta Google how big a centimeter is.
It's a centimeter.
Like this big.
It's like 100 of the smaller
millimeters.
That's 7.8 inches. If anybody was interested in knowing.
A centimeter?
No, 20 centimeters.
Oh, I was gonna say, no.
Yeah,
a centimeter's not no inches.
Okay.
Sorry, that was all.
No, it was cool. I like it. Always give us your animal facts. Look how much I know, Alex. Look how much you've taught me in almost a year.
True.
We got more. Songheart. Oh, that was from Songheart. This is also from Songheart. All of these are going to be from Songheart. Yeah, except one that Alex revised at the end, but it's still from Songheart. But hey, here's this for everyone. Current favorite battle morph, night morph, bird morph. We'll start with Cory.
Are we doing this person or character?
I think it can be like from you or Grant, but like just they have to be Grant's morphs. Like I think you guys should keep.
Okay. I mean, out of Grant's morphs, obviously his battle morph is the black jaguar that he has.
Oh wait a minute! I was maybe we should answer these as ourselves because she asked about battle morph and we all know they're battle morphs.
Right.
So should we do both? Let's do both.
I don't know. I like my character a lot, and I put a lot of work into him. So like, it might also be that, because I like that one. Night morph. It's the great horned owl. I like doing that. The bird morph is obviously my vulture. For my golden eagle, which I think is a vulture.
Nate.
Let's see. My favorite battle morph is definitely the orangutan. I mean, I like the mandrill, but that orangutan, I mean, kombucha, what a gentleman. My favorite night morph, and we only got the one, you guys. It's the great horned owl. I say we. I'm sure Savannah has 50. But I only have. I mean, I guess the wolf counts as one too. But I think the owl's better. Spiders can see in the dark. I don't know. I didn't like the spider that much. And then bird morph is definitely my shoe bill. I've only morphed it once, I think, and then got yelled at for being a giant bird over a city.
Every time you will be yelled at for that.
But it's so cool. He sounds like a machine gun. It looks like a dinosaur.
No, Alex, love it.
Yeah.
Savannah hates
Well, it's my
that.
favorite. That's what I'm saying. And I'm the same person as Zach, so the same answers. Although I think when that lemur shows up, I'm going to be very excited to be a lemur.
Lemurs would be cool.
We haven't morphed it yet, but I can't wait.
All right, what about you, Alex?
Well, there's some stuff on here that I haven't even gotten a chance yet. I think that Savannah's favorite battle morph, if we're not like talking about like for the situation, because she's of course always thinking about this, is like in every situation there's a different solution, a different animal that is a better solution. So she wasn't going to go moose to move stuff away from the door. Like that's obviously a rhino morph. And when going up against like guys with explosives and stuff, obviously she wants that. But moose is her battle morph. I think her favorite battle morph of all time is Future Possum, though, because that's Possum. That's her dog. So that's her favorite battle morph. Favorite night morph? I mean, really, it is the Great Horned Owl. They're incredible, and like both Alex and Savannah know how incredible they are. Like they're awesome. I could go on about owls forever. I won't. I already have. And then flying morph though. I would be totally remiss if I didn't say the red-tailed hawk. Like that's who Savannah is named after, is the red-tailed hawk that I worked with Savannah. So
it's true.
You know,
is it Savannah's favorite though?
Yeah, I mean, I think Savannah also really, really likes the peregrine too. So it's probably a toss-up for her between redtail and peregrine, depending on the situation. But like if she's going to be soaring, traveling long distances, she's always going to pick the redtail over any other bird morph she has, and she has a few at this point. So
when she's soaring, flying, they're in a star in heaven that she can't reach.
I don't know that song.
I was doing High School Musical.
Oh, I only know the one song and only the one line. So
yeah,
I don't know anything about High School Musical.
Get your head in the game.
Get your head in the game. That's it.
Is that Camera's theme song?
This together.
Oh yeah,
I do know that one.
I know.
Cameron's, I don't care if he gets canceled. Cameron's theme songs, fly. I believe I can fly by R. Kelly. All right. Same question, but least favorite.
Oh, you skipped.
Same, but least favorite. I did?
Cameron.
No, you didn't. You didn't. I skipped.
Huh. Cameron didn't get it.
Did you not do it?
What do you need?
Why don't Karen get?
He did, obviously. He only has one of each.
Still be his favorite.
Polar bear is his favorite. Night morph. Hang on, let me look at his morphs real quick because he might have something else.
I did have to pull Roll20 back up just to make sure I had the list because I already closed it.
Oh, I had Roll20 up because I'm like.
Is a gecko a night animal?
A gecko is an animal, yeah.
A night
animal.
Oh, depends on what kind of gecko.
I think
I said he was geckos like dusk and dawn.
You picked them up off a roof.
That's it.
They're crepuscular.
Crepuscular.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna say Great Horned Owl. And his favorite flying morph or bird morph, I guess, would be Great Horned Owl as well, because like he does go osprey in the day, but those Great Horned are dope. So,
I mean, now that I think about it, Grant's favorite nocturnal one is probably still the jaguar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Austin likes the wolf. Like I like the wolf morph just because I like wolves. But if I had to pick like my favorite battle morph, I would go somewhere along where Cory was going, like with a jaguar, panther, big cat, or something. Yeah. But I do like the wolves.
I like that snow leopard too, but then you gave me the choice and I flipped a coin. I could have gone for both, I guess, but I wanted to get the
It's the same, also along the same lines. Current least favorite morph for everyone in general. So instead of doing like least favorite battle, knight and bird, just do your least favorite morph. So I'll start. I don't. As far as for Cameron, they're all pretty cool. I guess if I had to pick, it would be squirrel. Just because, like, it'd still be cool to be a squirrel, but it's the lamest one out of all the ones that he has, I guess. Grant.
I'm gonna absolutely have to pick the one that he creepily peep on his friend for
He
reasons.
wasn't your friend yet.
Well,
Okay.
he was kind of
Acquaintance.
he was an acquaintance, but a good acquaintance, and then almost fucking died in under a door. A cockroach. I fucking hate being a cockroach. It sucks. Sometimes it's necessary, but fuck that thing.
Alex, what's your least favorite? She can't pick.
One. I don't. I can't.
That's it.
We're the
Look,
same
nobody
boat.
said you ever had to answer any of these questions.
Well, I want to answer it, but I legitimately don't have like a least favorite. Like,
That's why I picked squirrel. Like,
You
it's
don't
still.
like
Which one do you
spiders?
love the least? Pick your favorite child and your least favorite child.
I don't have a least favorite. Like,
I'm
literally,
gonna look on here. I'm gonna tell you what I think.
Right? You're okay with spiders.
I love it.
I
I
hate
love
it.
it.
I don't
I
understand.
love it.
Zach's
I'm
least favorite is
literally-
spider. I'll just get it out of the way. Now we're just waiting
Yeah.
on you.
You don't have a spider, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I think I was
Dude.
the first one to record it.
Sheep is really fucking cool. But it's
You have
lame
a
as
sheep?
fuck.
She has so fucking much.
Like,
God,
you
why do
wouldn't-
you have a sheep?
the only
Why
way
would you?
Savannah's gonna morph sheep is if she's like, "Hey, I want to fucking be a sheep."
We're
We're
gonna-
really going to escape from this Cyclops.
We're gonna have the
There's-
fucking cow book, but it's gonna be sheep.
Come on, I made an Odyssey reference. That's good shit.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cyclops.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it. I like that. I like that.
Odysseus has to escape from the
Mythological.
Cyclops cave. And
Yeah. That's right. I
he
got
tells
to
him his
read.
name is Nobody.
Yeah.
And the Cyclops looks like a fucking idiot. Because
Yeah.
they're like, who did this? And he's like, nobody.
Alex
Then it
still
happened again
studying
in the-
her list. Which one do I want to pick? I'm gonna throw you out, Vulture.
No,
Oh, sorry, Tortoise.
I've already done the tortoise.
Right. All right, you don't have to answer. It's fine.
I legitimately don't have a least favorite. Like, I legitimately every single one of these I
You
could
love
like.
all of them equally.
You know what? I've got one. It's one of mine.
Yeah, pick one of Cory's.
It's Hirac Chapman.
Yeah, well,
That's
yeah,
your least
yeah. If I
favorite.
had Chapman, I'd be like, Chapman's easily my least favorite. These are all animals, and I fucking love them all. Okay, like they all have something super cool and amazing and wonderful about them. That is an incredible fact, and I've researched most of them just for specifically when I morph them. Sheeps are fucking cool, man. Have you seen a lamb? They're adorable. I'm definitely going to morph a sheep at some point now, just to fucking spite you all. You'll be like, go to battle morphs. All of a sudden, I'll just be like, "Mah." Like.
Get a fainting goat. There you go.
Oh my
just-
god.
I just opened my Chapman sheet.
That's funny that you say that because
You have one? Why?
why do I have a goat?
Why do you have a fainting goat? Do you
It
have a
doesn't
fainting goat?
specifically say fainting. Austin, is it fainting
Okay.
goat?
No,
Nope, just regular.
no,
one.
I know what they look
Regular
like,
ass
and that
goat.
one don't look like.
Goats are
I
pretty
have-
rad, actually. If
I
I
have
had a
the rich-
mountain goat morph, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, Austin, you want to describe their eyes in detail?
Yeah, they stay in
Wiggle,
one
wiggle, wiggle.
position,
They do. It's very cool. It's
no matter where they go. In gravity, their
Mhm.
eyes stay in the same way. Also, you have to be haunted by a ghost to get them. Well, that's another way to get them, or be a frog. You can be a frog, a goat, or be haunted by a ghost. And you can have the same eyes.
Okay, well, half of that
Toad.
was correct, and the second half
Toad.
of that wasn't.
It was all correct.
Toad. Hey,
I don't mean to be an asshole, but there's like 6 more questions we got to answer.
Yeah,
Well,
we got 1 minute to do it.
Oh, no.
I do mean to be an asshole. Fucking ask the questions, damn it.
All right.
Let's go.
In what ways has your character grown better / worse from the beginning to now? Nate.
Zach has I don't know if this is better or worse, but I will describe the growth as I've tried to play it. He has tried to take on a leadership role, which may or may not be something he's truly cut out for or good at. He is also, trying to maintain like a sense of normalcy among everything else, and probably isn't being very successful at that. He's definitely more stressed now, so it's affecting his ability to make correct decisions, whether it's a leadership thing or just individually. So there's that, and um, yeah, he's had to make some really tough choices that, or even contribute to tough choices that, hell, I didn't know if they were the right choices, and I'm sure a 16-year-old certainly didn't know. That's my
Cory?
answer. It's not a good answer, but it's there.
Pretty good answers. I liked it.
Grant is very heart on the sleeve, and he's kind of has been for the people who truly knew him. But part of that, the 2 things. So Grant has matured a lot in some ways, and willing to go in this fight and looking at the bigger picture, and had this whole trying to make sure that there was clean pot on the street, and all of that stuff. And he's kind of accepting that he's not going to be able to work on that quite as much because it's so small fish compared to the Yerk invasion. But at the same time, he's very much someone who reacts to his emotions. And, while there are ways to keep that in check, especially externally from other people, it hasn't been that long since they've taken up this fight and happened. Grant is a lot more emotionally volatile. Like he always had a little bit of, the like fuck you snarky attitude to him. And now he's just kind of in an emotional spiral coaster going up and down all the time. And that is probably for the worse, but it's not anything that really is going to, I think, get better anytime soon. From an objective character standpoint, like that's fun shit with, but like it is a step in the wrong direction mental health wise for a Grant.
The question I just thought of is like, if let's say Grant was on like depression medication or whatever, would that even stick through morphing?
I might not.
Yeah.
Being high doesn't.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Savannah.
I mean, she's gone a lot of directions, I think, but also very timidly. But I think for sure one of the things that I know I've said this part before is that she was built to kind of be in the back seat and then grow as a character over time, just to support me learning how to play D&D. And I think that that's kind of come to fruition a lot of the time because like she also as a character just didn't have a lot of points to latch onto. Like she had Possum, but she didn't have a lot of friends. She didn't have a lot going on. And so she was thrown into this thing where Elfangor grants her greatest wish of all time and was really like kind of immediately taken up with like, oh, we got to do this. We got to fight. We have to take responsibility for this because that's just who she is. But then she started to kind of grow with all of these people and kind of reach out a little bit and started to kind of test out more roles and being a little bit like more forceful in what she's thinking or a little more outspoken in what she's thinking. And that's just a byproduct of being around these people that are like that and that do those things. And so it's been kind of interesting to kind of latch on and grow between all of the characters and what they're doing. I don't know if that answered the question, but that's what I said. So fuck it.
It did. You talked a little bit about what she was and what you're dealing with now. Stuff. Cameron, sometimes I feel like I play him, like I play into the dumbness too much. Not like I feel like I go too far with it, but I feel like I lean on it too much. Whereas I want him to be multifaceted. I don't want him
He
to
is.
just be
To defend you against you here. In the moments where it really matters, in the moments like there's a serious thing going on, or a conversation that warrants it, like Cameron is a very serious person, and his drive and his motivation are pretty clearly defined. And something that I love about Cameron is that he has this dedication to wanting to be a more serious person that everyone feels like they can rely on, when I feel like he's already and still being a goofball despite himself. I think you're doing a great job bouncing Cameron out.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't do anything worse or better.
You did, and I know that I've mentioned this to you before, like just when we've been talking, but as far as like Savannah thinking about Cameron, she trusts his gut instinct. Like, yeah, he's goofy and yeah, he like misses some stuff, but they've agreed on a lot and she trusts him.
He can't add, but he knows when shit adds up. Right.
It's a good way to put it.
You could put that on a fucking shirt. That's
Dude,
good.
that's solid, man. I like that.
For what it's worth, Austin, I read, like, whenever you're really playing up Cameron's dumbness or whatever, it's never in a moment where it's bad. It's kind of what Cory was saying. Like, it's never like we're in the middle of a fight and he doesn't know left from right. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It almost seems to me like Cameron is intentionally playing up being dumb, like, as a joke. Like, that's part of his personality, is being the guy that goes, "What do you mean?"
Mhm.
And I love that.
Yeah, the only
It's
time
fucking great.
the only time it ever affects anything like in the moment is when there's an argument over what more something to use, because Cameron immediately does whatever anyone says he'd be doing, and then he'll have to like back out of it. But I don't even think that's a dumb thing. I think that's a disagreement thing, but he's just going with whatever the first person to tell him what to do with it was doing. Or in a lot of situations, waiting to refer to Zach.
Yeah, I would say.
And I was gonna say that was the other thing, is like Zach appreciates Cameron's like loyalty so much, because he does not know if he's doing the right thing, but having somebody listen to him gives him that like confidence to press on anyway.
Yeah, well, there's a lot I can say about if we go into like the leadership stuff, because I think this leadership stuff, because better or worse, I feel like Cameron has made up his mind about leader too. Like, there was a conversation, and when that conversation happened, he made his choice. That's not to say it won't change, but I do want to touch on something else. So I was thinking of this when I was trying to think of better or worse stuff for Cameron. Playing Axe is like playing Cameron, but it's different, but it's similar, because like I'm not always trying to be condescending, but by the time I finish the sentence, it is condescending, because like I'm trying to use words that I feel like are good words.
That's so perfect for Axe.
Yeah.
Not trying to be condescending, but still being condescending.
But you have to. There's a way to do it though, because you can be dumb and people can hate you. You can be very smart and people can hate you. I'm trying to make these characters dumb and smart and people love them, and just the smarter is harder than the dumb.
I as a viewer, I love Axe. And it's coming across very well.
Okay, good. That's what
it is not. Grant's reactions to him have no bearing on it. I love it, and you're doing a very good job. I'm just thinking about the character I've built and what we've gone through and where people's priorities are that all lead to fuck this guy.
So I was just thinking, we are pre-recording this episode, as everybody knows. We're also pre-recording the next. Is it the next episode or the one after it?
So
Next one.
The next. Should we save some of these just in case?
We can.
It's not a bad idea.
Definitely fine.
So it looks like there's one.
There's at least 2 more.
3 more.
3 more.
And the other one is the really good one. The next one is the really good one.
Oh,
we can get to it, and then hopefully we'll use the other 2 and maybe get more for the next one. Do you guys want to do that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, Songheart again says, what character from the books, main or side, is your character most like? And this is the one that was revised by Alex. And everybody but the person that plays the character gets the answer. So we'll start with Grant. Me, Alex, and Nate are going to answer who we think Grant is, and I'm going to let y'all go first.
Not it.
Not it.
All right, I'll go first, I guess. Let's see. Who do I think Grant is like the most? Okay, I'm going to give some answers here. And let me preface all of this by saying I love every single one of the characters in this book. So if I say anybody is like Cassie, it's also because I fucking love Cassie. So knock that fucking shit off. But yeah, Grant, absolutely. Yeah, I can see him as a mix of, I could kind of see a little bit of like Marco in there with just attitude, but I definitely think the emotional side of him is very Cassie. And I mean that in like a beautiful, wonderful way of like, he makes so many decisions based off of like his in the moment feelings. And there is logic behind it too, but like it's so overtly emotional that I love that. And like nobody's going to confuse Grant and Cassie. They are 2 very, very different people, but I love that aspect is kind of, to me, is pulled from there. What else could I see? I mean, I can definitely see a little bit of Tobias in there too, just with, he's got some of that lonerish attitude at the beginning. He just wasn't ever bullied. He didn't fall into that role. He fell into the upper half of that, which is maybe more bully, even though he's not bullying, he kind of fell into that purview, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely rules his social circles with fear.
Yeah.
And it's a persona he puts on, and he's not going and people out behind the school, but he does make it a point so that when people come around the corner, they're like, "Oh my god, it's that guy! Don't fuck with him."
Didn't he get in a fight on the school?
Yeah, he
did. Get stabbed.
He did get shot.
Yeah.
He did stab Patch.
Yeah, he stabbed Patch. Sorry. No, he stabbed Charles.
I stabbed Charles.
Yeah. Oh,
rude.
Shit.
It's been
sorry.
He just spit blood on Patch like a feral goblin.
What about you, Dave? Or Alex, are you done?
Yeah.
I'll
be done.
God, I should have gone first because now that Alex has talked, I'm like rethinking everything I thought.
Well, the funny thing is I kind of know a little bit about Grant's character inspiration, and
you didn't list any of them.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna, because here's what I was originally thinking. My original thought was it's 60-40 David Rachel split.
Yeah, bro, right here.
But God, hearing that's the surface of Grant, and that's not really the character. And if anybody, Zach ought to know that. So it's true. And Nate just like put that to the back of his mind for a minute, but he is not actually like that. He is actually a lot more caring and a lot more sincere than his facade bullshit persona that he's made up. That is all punk rock and attitude. And
it's a smokescreen.
Yeah, it's very Cassie. It's extremely Cassie. And honestly, there's probably a lot of Tobias in there. Zach didn't know Grant when he was younger, but I can very easily see a Tobias going from getting his ass kicked all the time to putting on a leather jacket with a bunch of pins and going, fuck it. I'm going to go this way. And that could have easily become Grant. So
I'm sure Grant was the kid who came home with a lizard in his hands and goes, "Mom, it's dying.
sure,
We have to help
Yeah.
him."
Flushes it down the toilet.
Oh, I could
Um,
absolutely, just to take again from the books, I could absolutely see Grant coming home with his like latest art project and being like really, really proud of like the thing that he drew and like all that.
yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, Grant's really unique, frankly. I don't think that there's a character who's a very good analog for Grant from the books. Um, and I commend Cory for that creation. But yeah, it's tough to nail him down. I'll put it that way. There's also, I mean, there's a little Marco in there. Just Marco cursed the most for sure.
Paranoia,
And
paranoia.
well, he
Yeah.
cursed the most except for Rachel. Because Rachel says fuck like a comma. It's just all the time. But yeah, I don't know. That's my answer. It's very long and rambling.
I agree 60-40 David Rachel because the Rachel, yeah, she's like, let's do it, let's go into the missions. Grant's not really like that, but he's aggressive like her. And it's like you make this decision and you stick with it and you are gonna like defend it the way you know how. And I feel like Rachel did that. And then as far as David goes, David always had, like in his books, he was always confident and felt like he had everything under his own control, but he didn't. And it was just like a ruse a lot of the times. And I feel like Grant's ruse is being, fuck you, fuck this, when actually he might not know what the fuck he's doing in the moment. Like, he's just as scared as anybody else, but that's his wall. Like, it's to fuck off everybody. And that's why I think it like plays in. That's why I think it plays into David. The Marco stuff, I guess I get with like you said, Alex, like with the attitude and some of his snarky remarks, but I think everybody can do those. That's not really a Marco thing. It's like I get it,
He
but
was just the one that did it in the books.
yeah.
Yeah.
The most. I mean, Tobias had some zingers sometimes too, and Jake had his
Brittany,
share.
bitch.
I can't see the Tobias stuff, but not like the loner stuff. Not really too much into depression because I don't think Grant's too depressed. I feel like he's had. I mean, maybe now with everything, maybe now with stuff going on, but it doesn't seem like his life's been that bad.
Okay, what I will say on that, and this is from someone who has major depression playing a character with major depression. It doesn't matter. It is a pervasive chemical imbalance in his brain, and that definitely drives some of the way that Grant interacts with the world. He's definitely depressed.
You can be depressed and have that all taking place in your brain. What I mean is there's not like an event that and there doesn't have to be an event that gave you depression or anything.
No, he doesn't have trauma-based depression. No.
Right, and that's what I meant. I didn't mean,
Gotcha.
you know.
I'm with you. I just wanted to put that clarifier on there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I guess my take on it. What about Savannah, Grant? Since you or Cory,
Cory, who am I? I mean, so a lot less on the emotional side of things and more on the for different reasons than were listed for why Grant was. I see, if we're going to put someone on it, Savannah as something of a Rachel Cassie split. And the Cassie is clearly the loves hanging out with animals more and to do that and cares about their welfare and thinking about them and all of this. Rachel on the a little bit more of a you know what? Now that I'm thinking on it, I don't know if I would go. Because I definitely see some Marco in there with the. I feel like Savannah is. I'm taking Rachel out of the equation and replacing it with Marco because there is the caring about the animals and the world that is left, and not quite as much focus on some of the other aspects, but there's also the like cold calculation of how things should go and trying to remove things and seeing where these things will end up, especially with like the argument against like we shouldn't be telling Chad and Bart anything at all, and Grant being like, no, their friend just fucking died, I'm not doing that. So yeah, I don't know that I've got like a 64 like you guys were talking about, but I think there's, if I was gonna say she was amalgamation of anything, even though I think she's her own unique thing, it would be Cassie and Marco.
Nate?
Yeah, Cassie and Marco is also where I land. There's a hint of Rachel for sure. I mean, I don't need to assign percentages, but I think it's weighed pretty heavily towards the Cassie side, just from being an animal fanatic, and the Marco side is the whole strategy thing. I actually pulled up a list of the auxiliary animorphs just to see, was like there's somebody who was particularly like reserved and saved their talking for when it was the most important, because that's another big thing with Savannah, but I don't see one. So
they weren't given a whole lot of personality.
They weren't. There's even the descriptions don't even have all the names of them. So
yeah,
that's true. But that's why I pulled up the list, because I was like, I can only remember like half a dozen of them anyway. I'm Alex. I love you. Also, a little Eric. Not from a passive, like not the pacifist part of it, but just because like Eric's not there all the time. It's not that Savannah's not there all the time, but that's the closest thing to like only speaking when it's really important. It's a Silent Bob sort of situation. You know, Silent Bob was quiet the whole movie, and then at the end he goes, it's not every day you meet a girl that brings you lasagna or whatever. Okay, that's a very Savannah sort of moment, because Savannah doesn't talk most of the time until it's like, hey, idiots, we should probably fucking do this. You go, oh fuck yeah, okay. No, that's my take. It's mostly Cassie Marco, with a little hint to Rachel and everybody else sprinkled in. But
I think Cassie, you're getting Cassie a lot because you work at the zoo. You're around the animals a lot, which I guess that's a lot of Cassie, and you do know stuff about animals, and so does Savannah. So that's like why Cassie. But that is where I believe that kind of ends.
Yeah, emotionally, not at all.
Yeah, I don't see it as an emotional aspect of it. It's definitely just animals. And I want to piggyback on what Alex said about, I love all the characters. I also love all the characters.
Except Cassie.
I dislike Cassie the most because of a few key things, but 99% of the time she's great.
I also see a little bit of Jake in Savannah, because normally when you do talk, which I don't think you're that reserved. Like, you are the most reserved. But like when you do talk, it's like these things, like, we need to do something for one. We need to do it now, or we need to do it by this time, and this is what I think we should do. And it's like, you have no fear of saying what you think needs to happen. And I feel like that's a Jake thing. You kind of step up when you do that. Like, I can see Savannah in the leader role, like in that moment at least, like you giving out what you think everybody's supposed to be doing. Are you guys saying Marco?
So my reasoning for Marco is it's Marco if instead of telling jokes to fill the silence, he just shut up. Because when Marco says something strategic, it's the best idea, almost always.
Right. My Marco argument is what he loves to talk about when it's his turn to be, going on about a thing, is the clear line from point A to point B.
Yep.
That is where I see Marco in Savannah.
I know that there's been times, I've even told you this, Alex, where I've seen every character in your character at some point. But like, I think those are the ones that kind of jump out to me, are Jake and the Cassie because of the animal stuff. I know you love Rachel as Alex, and I would expect you to have some kind of Rachel in there. There may be that I'm just skipping over right now, but those are my
when she gets into Moose Morph or Rhino Morph, it's all Rachel. It's 100% Rachel. Yeah.
See, even then,
all of the Rachel comes from severe family trauma.
Okay, yeah.
And a little Tobias too, because your parents don't give a shit about it.
There's your Tobias. All right, I'll start this one for Zach. I see some Marco because like you definitely have to have like a sense of humor to be a good TikToker, and I think to be on like, you know, internet, you have to be funny or something. And there's a little Marco there. I get some Tobias vibes too. I think like when you're in tough situations, it feels like you kind of I don't know, maybe this is a metaphor, but kind of like pull back into Zach a little bit, I guess. Like you're not when the tough gets going, if you're not giving out orders, it feels like Grant's like the one up front in the shit. That's what I feel like. I don't know. That might be wrong, but
I think you're probably right.
So that like
he's got kind of a hair trigger.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I have like a trait, right? Like that I've been thinking about with that I want Cameron to talk to Zach about, but I'm trying to figure out a way to say it without spoiling it. A little bit of Axe, because I don't know. I don't want to give away this thing that I'm trying not to say. I'm having a tough time with it.
Just skip it.
Don't say it.
All right. Yeah.
You can always come back to it at that time during that Hirac Delest. You can come back to this question.
I will say when it comes to this, I don't know. It's hard. Look, he's Jakey when he does shout out the orders and stuff. I don't know. It's hard to. I want to say Cassie too because like there's compassion behind the things. Like you are Jake, as in you give out the orders and like you take the lead when, like you at least you try to when you got people like Grant with you. You try to take the lead, but you also have like compassion when you're giving out orders. I feel like maybe this is Marco too. You wouldn't let somebody make the sacrifice play. You would make it. Whereas that Jake may do that in extreme situations, but for the most part, he's okay with sending somebody to do the thing to do something else. Yeah. I feel like you will send somebody to do something if it doesn't get them killed. Like that's the Cassie coming in. Like you think about what the person is feeling about the situation before having them do the thing.
Whereas Jake hated himself for it, but he sent someone in to do the thing every single time.
I've consciously made that decision a few times.
Right,
like where it's been like, no, you guys go, I will handle this part.
That's scary too, like when you're breaking down somebody's character decisions. Because like you all said, I love all these characters. Literally, I love them more than you all. From the bottom of my heart.
How dare you?
I don't think so.
But when you have to start breaking down character things sound like an insult, but they're not. Like I'm not trying to insult anything that you've done as far as roleplay and stuff, but I don't know. I don't want it to feel like that to you. It's hard to do this when look at me. I'm being a little bitch. Alex, you do it. You go next.
Well, I can honestly say that my answer before today's game would have been different for sure. But the conversation that happened between Grant and Zach definitely added some nuances to me, because I immediately latched onto that as you guys had a conversation that was a huge tipping point between Jake and Marco. And so I saw Jake in that moment, like so clearly in Zach, because it was basically that conversation of, you're my friend, like, let's talk about it. We've known each other for a long time. And then that Marco shutdown of, we are now in a battle together and you are my leader and we are no longer friends. We have a different relationship and we will never return to that. And like, you guys did not say those words, but I could hear like the kind of echoes in that conversation while that was happening.
There were some of those vibes there, yeah, where
Yeah.
it's like, I wish we could, but that's not an option anymore. Let's go talk to our dead friend about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that, and then I do see, I see some Rachel, but not in the gung-ho battle ways. I see Rachel in those moments of like the really questioning and introspective parts of her. And that, I think, it also showed up today too, and like has shown up in the past where Zach will have these moments of like when Rachel tried to become leader and fucked up so badly, right? And you see those moments where like Rachel was like, she's still smart, she did everything right, and it just, she didn't have whatever that extra sidestep was in the moment to
That
make
Jake factor.
right. But Zach has that Jake factor as well. It's just, I see those moments of that introspectiveness that Rachel had in him as well. And those are all just aspects of it. I think one of the most interesting parts of this is that when we're saying like who we're most like, I feel like all of us have answered very opposite ends of Animorph spectrum characters. And this is hard as well because the characters are so built out and so sprawling and they're real developed people. They're not a couple character traits that Catherine wrote down on a whiteboard and said, oh, that and that. Okay. And so it's hard to do. But like, I think the fact that we've gotten these answers of two vastly different ends of the spectrum for almost every character cramming together, and then there's that third aspect that we're bringing something new and different into this series is really interesting. And I see that a lot in Zach. Like I see that there's these glimpses at what's there, but then there's this totally new spin on it as well. That's really interesting and fun to see. So that's a really long answer.
I liked it.
I did too. Cory?
My answer was also Jake Marco. In the Marco, I see a lot of the like trying to like lighten up moods in serious situations, trying to Austin disagrees.
No, that's not it. Sorry.
No, you're good. Sorry. And lighten up moods, try and do like joke thing and try and interject that like levity into things is hard to exist. And then on the Jake side, I see keep everyone together and to keep people motivated, and also the deep fear of doing it wrong.
Yeah.
That I see very deeply, and it is unfortunate. Like there have been those moments with Grant or whatever, but like there are also times where I think that and as Austin was saying, like I don't mean this in a mean way at all, but like there are also times where like it's hard to interpret things in character in a way that is praising of some of the leadership moments, because there are times of we need to stand and fight, and then going into the hallway and
Oh, you cut out so bad.
oh no. The hallway, not understanding that all of it was going back there and wanting to stand and fight, and the feeling from Grant of if we had stood and fought, we would have died there. The things like running out of the Yerk pool and going into Dolphin and then questioning and being like, should we do Owl instead? And just there have been plenty of moments there where it's like, should this person be a leader? should he not be? And for Grant, those things are, especially with his heightened, what's the word? Emotionally volatile state. He's like, I'm not going to listen to this guy anymore, I think is where his ideas are right now. And, that's not what Cory thinks. Cory thinks that there are a lot of good moments in there, and then, some things that just happen. But I also think that goes into some of the Jake things with the like, am I making the right call? Should I be doing this? Should I, putting this person in danger? But like, he thinks about those things, I think, in a way that's a little more healthy than Jake too. So yeah, Jake Marco is really where I'm seeing stuff.
Ooh, good answers.
With more morality than either one of them.
Damn
Hey,
I tried to exercise Cassie completely, and
if you guys want to submit some Hirac Delest questions, you can either tweet us, you can go to our Discord and leave them there. Do it.
But where would they tweet us, Austin?
You guys can tweet me at DNDBPOD. That's where I'm at on Twitter. Twitch.tv/SeasonDrop. If you ain't watching right now on Season Drop TV, next time come live with us. We'll have fun. We'll be live one of these times.
One of these days in the future.
That's my Twitter stuff. What about you, Nate?
I am the Splintersmith on all things internet. If you Google Splintersmith, you'll find me. It's Splinter, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sensei. That's right. The Rat Man. And Smith. Like Smith.
All rats gotta die except Master Splinter.
Yep, he lived forever.
Alex.
Twitter, Alex and Birds. I'm on there. You can tweet at me because it's Alex and Bird.
You can tweet at her and Birds. What else do you do?
Oh boy, howdy.
What don't you do?
What don't I do? Let's start there. I'm on like 5 podcasts, so and maybe more coming up in the near future.
Alex needs a podcast to talk about all of her podcasts.
I would love a podcast to talk about all my podcasts. I'm on Dungeons and Dragons Memes. I'm on Animorphs Anonymous. That's how Austin found me. I'm on Chemist Crisis. I'm on Horse Girls, which is the most bestest horse cast ever. I assume. I haven't checked out others, but I assume.
No, you're right.
No, I feel like I'm right. Yeah, I absolutely feel like I'm right. Soup Salad Sandwich is around. Lives in the ether. Is that 5? Did I hit 5? I feel like
yeah, I think that was 5.
There you go. Perfect.
And maybe another one. Cory.
I am at Rum Renegade on Twitter. And I'm never on there, but you can shout into the void there. If you want to actually talk to me, come join our Discord. Sorry, Austin.
Soup. It's a soup.
I don't know. I'm done.
Oh, how long do you want us to vamp? I mean,
He just cut us. He just cut us off. We're not even saying goodbye. He was just like, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck Morbius. That's what we're... Fuck Morbius.
I thought we were going to...
Wasn't good.
Oh, I was going to say fuck Bill Cosby because we were talking about him earlier.
Dude.
Fuck this bit. I don't think we got to angrily sign off every time.
We do.
Oh, okay. Fuck me then.
I mean, what's funny is that I started that and said... and have not done it the past few times, and it keeps happening. So I'm like, okay, I guess it's still going.
Guess we're doing that.
Guess we're doing that.
All right. Fuck Gandhi then. We'll take it back.
That was the first one. Bye, everyone.